All right, second game of a back-to-back. Sixers win, beat the Pacers, extend their winning streak to 8, which ties their longest winning streak of the season so far. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. So yeah, Sixers extend their winning streak to 8, and I mean, they have just been so dominant. This was the fourth game in the last 5 or 6 games where Embiid didn't even play any of the fourth quarter, and I think this 8-game run, this 8-game winning streak, towards the end of the season, I think it's really helped Embiid's MVP case, and I think Embiid is the MVP this year. Personally, I would have went with him last year, but I think this year it's him. I think Embiid is definitely the MVP this year. I mean, you have the Sixers 2 games out of first place on the East, 3rd seed in the East. He's averaging 33.5 points, which leads the league in scoring, over 10 rebounds, 4 assists, over a block and a half, over a steal. He's averaging all this on 54.5% from the field and 65.4 true shooting percentage, which is 10th best in the NBA. But when you consider that he's also averaging the most points in the NBA, that's really impressive. I mean, he's having one of the best offensive seasons we've seen, one of the most efficient scoring seasons we've seen in decades. I mean, he's averaging 33.5 points per game, shooting at this point close to 55% from the field, with a true shooting percentage that's getting more and more closer to 65%. Or wait, I think it's over 65%. Yeah, 65.4%, I believe. He has just been so efficient, and he's been so efficient all year. And he's just been so dominant. I mean, tonight against the Pacers, he had 31 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, but he only played 30 minutes. He didn't even play the fourth quarter, and he didn't play the fourth quarter last game against the Hornets, and he had 38 points in 3 quarters. I mean, the last 5 or 6 games, he's averaging 30 plus in just 3 quarters. It's insane. But he's just been so dominant. He set the Sixers franchise record for longest streak of 30-point games with 9. And he just continues tonight and last night. Last night looked just like it was so easy for him, and he ended up with 38 and 13 with 5 assists and 4 blocks. And then tonight, a majority of the game, it looked like he wasn't even actually trying, and he still ended up with 31, 7, and 7. The game has just been coming so naturally to him lately, and he's just been such a dominant player. And the Sixers didn't even have James Harden out there, and they still put up 141 points, which is insane. I mean, Tyrese Maxey did have a really good game with 31 and 7, but it was mainly Embiid just dominant. And it's been like that this whole 8-game stretch, and it's been like that a majority of the season. I mean, Embiid has just been so dominant this season. His defense has been incredible. He's really been locked in lately, and I think that's been a big turning point with this team. And this team feels special with all the ways they just come back and end up winning games. And when was the last time the Sixers had back-to-back games and they blew out the opponents both nights? That hasn't happened for a long time. This team just feels different. This team just feels special. I think this team will be Embiid and Harden's best chance of winning a title. I mean, Sixers and Celtics would both be tough series, but I definitely can see Sixers beating the Bucks. Celtics a little different. I don't know. We'd have to just see what happens. But Sixers have a real shot at winning the title. I mean, they're 48 and 22 now. 3rd best record in the East. 3rd best record in the NBA. I mean, if they were out west, they'd have the first seed. Like the Sixers are a really good team, and Doc Rivers has been coaching really well during this 8-game winning streak, and now Sixers play 2 games against the Bulls, and then they have a really tough stretch, really tough 7-8 game stretch where they play the Warriors, Nuggets, Suns, Bucks, Celtics. Just a really tough stretch. But if they go like 4-4 or like 5-3 with more dominant Embiid performances, I think that seals up the MVP for him. I think he's been the MVP all season long, and I think it's just now started to get recognized. And I'm not saying Jokic doesn't have a case. He absolutely has a case. Giannis has a case too. They're all incredible players, but I think this year you have to give it to Embiid because he really deserves it. But if they do good during that rough 8-game stretch to end the season and Embiid's dominant, I think that seals the MVP for him. And the Sixers still have a chance to finish first in the East. I don't know how likely it is, but they are only 2 games back from first place, so we'll have to see what happens. Need the Bucks and Celtics to just lose and the Sixers to keep winning. But Sixers are on an 8-game winning streak. It's been fun to watch, and they've been dominant. I think they've blown out like 4 different teams during this winning streak, and that's been refreshing to see and nice. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below, and subscribe to the channel for more. Peace.